I am Steph Hodge with Board Game Geek here with Peter McLean and Str8 Games.
Absolutely.
And what? So it looks like the game is called Str8.
It is. I currently only have one game at the moment, and the game came to me in a dream.
Okay, nice.
When I dreamed it was a board game,
Okay.
and the mechanism of the game is slightly different than most of the other things that are out there because it's built on the multiplication table.
Oh.
So the distribution of cards is nice because it's got the mathematics behind it there. So
Perfect.
But it's a little bit different than anything else is out there. And so in my dream, I was playing where the intersections of the different multiples are. And I woke up, couldn't get it to work in real life, and then figured out all the elements could fit on cards very easily. And when you're done, then it creates a straight line, which is I get the Str8 idea.
So we're getting 8 cards down here.
8 cards long. So yeah, the goal is each person is trying to build their own sequence until there are 8 cards in it. So at the moment, let's say we're in the middle of the game here, you would have 4 cards into your sequence, and 5 cards into mine.
Okay.
When you start your sequence, it can be any of the numbers 1 through 8.
1 through 8.
And they all have little bullseyes on the card here. I don't know if we can see.
And that's handed out randomly,
Right
or you just hopefully get one?
Yeah. So each person will have a hand of 3 cards when they're dealt. And then each turn they'll either draw a card and either play one or discard one. So you're always beginning and ending your turn with 3 cards.
Okay.
So once you've played the first card in your sequence, the card then tells you what your next options can be. So if you start with an 8 here, let's move a little bit further. Maybe there. The next card you can play would be either a 10, a 12, or a 16. Any one of them. So if you play the 8, the next one is a 12, your options now change. It could be a 14, 15, 16, or 18. Makes sense? From here, we went to the 14, and finally now the 16. So you're looking for a 20 or a 24. Either one.
Okay, yes.
Make sense?
What if I don't have that?
What if you don't have that? So let's say it's your turn, so you go ahead and draw a 4th card.
4th card.
All right. You're still looking for a 20 or a 24. If you don't have one,
No.
then you need to discard something to the top of the discard pile.
6.
Exactly. So you also don't want to discard something I could be using. So, for instance, my sequence currently is at 21. I'm looking for a 24 or a 28.
Yes.
So you wouldn't want to throw away a 28 because
No.
I'd pick it right up and play
Of course
it.
not.
My turn, so I can have the 6 or I can have the top card. The 6 does me no good, so I'll draw. And here myself, I have a bunch of nothing. So I'll get rid of, let's call it the 8 this time.
Okay.
And that returns it to your turn. If there was 3 or 4 of us, we go around the table one turn at a time.
Hey, I got it.
Okay, so if you have a card you can play, now for your turn, you add it to your sequence, just like that. And now you're back to 3 cards.
Yep.
Now it's my turn.
All right.
That makes sense? So
Yes.
I'll draw again. The 8 does me no good. I just threw it away. And I picked another 8, so this time maybe we'll get rid of a 7, because that'll be fun. And your turn. So we kind of got a back and forth that goes on here.
All right. So, hey. Not yet. All
Yeah.
right, so I can't play, but I can
Discard something, that's not
All right,
useful
another
to me.
6.
Okay, and it's now my turn. I got a 24, which fits perfectly
Aw.
onto there. So that finishes my turn and returns it back to you.
All right. Okay. Hey.
28, there we go. So now you're 6 cards into your sequence. We can move those instructions and the
Getting
numbering
there.
sheet in there. Brings it back to me.
Yep.
And here's the twist in the game.
All right. Let's hear it.
Because every game's got to have a good twist.
Yes.
You might have a card that I need, or
Yes.
vice versa.
Sure.
You would never throw it away because I pick it right
Of
up.
course.
So to move the game along in that way, or maybe cause some chaos, there are pass cards.
Okay.
6 of them in each deck. 3 that go to the left, 3 that go to the right. So if someone draws those pass cards, all the players at the table take their 3 cards in their hand and pass it either to the player to the left
Oh no.
or to the player to the right.
Okay.
So in this case, we're to the left, but our lefts are our right.
No.
So you see, she's saying no because she has a
I
35
wanted the
that she wants to
35.
play. Anyway, since we now have 3 cards, I played a card. It's back to your turn. We keep going clockwise around the
Okay,
table, regardless
so
of
I pack up.
which direction the pass card is.
Got low cards.
Yeah, low cards.
I
So-
couldn't add to this end.
Correct. Now, some people at home play that way, kind of house rule, if you will.
Okay.
I invented it to always get larger.
Always get larger.
But you can play it lower. It just changes the dynamics of what you're holding, what you're throwing away, and the scoring. Those kinds of things
Yeah.
change a
Okay,
little bit.
sure.
So, obviously not going to throw away the 35, because that would just be too easy for you.
Do it.
I'll give you an 18 to choose from.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna do it.
Oh, see, you get one.
Give it back. Give it back.
I get all your junk. Okay, so that was your turn then. You're still getting 3 cards, so I could get one now and stick you again.
Don't do it.
But I didn't. But I got one I can play.
No.
So I'm gonna add it there. So that's 2, 4, 6, 7 cards.
So you're nearly there.
I'm nearly there.
Oh, hey, that's good.
But you got your 35
I got
back.
my 35.
So you're also up to 7. So now I need a 35 or a 36.
Yep.
You've played one of the 35s, and again, since it's built off the multiples, this sheet kind of shows you how many of each there are. So there's only 2 35s in the game and 1 36. So I've only got 2 left, whereas there's still 2 40s and 2 42s here. So you have more options to pull from.
All right.
So, but it's now my turn, and I'm kind of drawing blind here for the winner, and that did not happen.
Okay.
But I'll put out a 12. It is your turn.
Come on, big money. No. So you get a 15.
Up there. Let's see what we got. I got a 24. No luck there.
Don't need it.
Yeah, your turn.
10 is low.
Nothing. One of us is going to get it. You got a better chance of a 40 or a 42 than I do.
Oh, it's too high.
So it gets kind of. Oh, so now I got a 42. So I can't. So now you haven't. But you didn't know that I have it.
You should totally discard it.
But then the viewers at home would be like, well, I was going to try playing that.
You let me
Someone
win.
needs to get through it, kind of a thing. I get rid of that 14. Another 24.
Nope.
So you can get into these kind of doldrums sometime. That's all right. The other part is at the end of the game, once someone has won, then if you want to play multiple rounds, we do a tournament where I'm from on the 8th of every month. And where I'm from, it's Alfred, New York, in case you're wondering.
Okay.
It's on the back of every card. So we play on the 8th of every month, typically at 8 o'clock at night.
Okay.
And so at the end of each round, the winner will take all the points that are in their sequence, and that's their score.
So all the top big numbers.
Yes. So
wow.
typically a winning hand is 150 to 200 points.
Sure, yeah, wow, that's a lot.
Then the folks who don't finish, they add up their partial sequence, but they discard, they have to subtract what's left in their hand.
Ooh.
So like right now I'm holding on to this 42.
Oh, yeah.
So that could hurt me a lot if you get to
get rid of
before.
some of these
So
cards.
exactly. So I'm going to drop a 56 for that reason. Which, that's what you're saying. When you played earlier ones, it can change the dynamics of the game. That's the worst card.
I don't want a 64 at the end.
We also count these as kind of negative 50s if you're stuck with one.
Oh, wow.
So.
Okay, that's big money. That's big points.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Let's see,
one of us is going to grab it here. Well, like you could have won with that.
Oh, I know I'm free. I was looking for a 42.
So, yeah. So,
That's so silly.
so I'm not going to pretend you didn't take your hand off of that.
I mean,
like
what just happened?
Anyway, so that's how it would finish up. So you would then have, I don't know, let's call that 160, 170 points. I would have whatever mine is, like 100 and something points, but I'm going to be subtracting a good 53 from there, and then we can play another round.
Excellent.
So, but enjoyable?
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Peter.
My
this
pleasure. Absolutely. And I've been speaking with the folks at Brain Games since yesterday. They got a hold of the game after I talked to them, and we've been coming up with other ways to use the cards for games.
Very
so we may
cool.
be in the future coming out with additional instructions where you can reuse the deck for other types of games, which would
That'd
be
be
really
really
fun.
cool.
So I
Yeah.
got a hat tip to the guys at what was it?
Brain
Deepwater.
Games.
No, Deepwater.
Deepwater.
Deepwater. I got the
Oh, okay.
wrong group because I was thinking of you guys. So at Deepwater, helping me out with all that. So thanks, guys at Deepwater.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Bye.